Okay. Once someone asks you like, what was your experience? I was a SaaS programmer from past 7 years. I have been working in the SaaS industry in all clinical projects from last 7 years, and my projects were on phase one, phase two, phase three studies, and I worked on different therapeutic areas like oncology, immunology, radiology, or pain studies. So first you have to say what phases you worked on and what therapeutic areas you worked on. So then they will know, okay, they don't need about the companies, they basically need what therapeutic areas you are working on. Oncology, they expect a lot of big companies expect oncology. Immunology, those are big studies, they have a lot of patients, lot of records. So I worked on oncology, I worked on immunology, I worked on pain, I worked on dermatology studies. So on these therapeutic areas I worked on phase one, phase two, phase three studies, and I also supported on phase 4 trials, post clinical trials. Phase 4 trials are called phase clinical trials. So I also worked on phase 4 clinical trials, and my recent project was in Pfizer. Previously I worked in Johnson and Johnson. My project in Pfizer was about 3 years, and in Pfizer I worked with oncology and immunology. I worked on phase 1 and phase 2 studies, and currently working on phase 3. And our size of our team was 6 programmers, and we have a team lead and manager. I'm not only working on one study, I'm working on two studies. My main study was oncology study, and I'm also supporting the pain study. For pain study, I'm doing some TLFs and QCing part of some TLFs. But for my main study, I'm a source programmer for DM, and I mean source programmer for SDTM datasets and QCing some of the datasets. And I'm also working on ADAM datasets, and I'm also working on TLFs. When it comes to SDTM datasets, I worked on as a source programmer for DMA, a lot of the data sets like LBVS, MHEG. As a source programmer, initially I have gone through protocol of my study, and then gone through CRF pages. And if I need to annotate the CRF pages, I have to annotate it. And in our company, but our team lead is annotating the CRFs, and specifications has been already prepared by my team lead. So I have to follow protocol, CRFs and annotated CRFs, and then my specification document for creating my datasets. Once if I go through all these documents, then I will go to my timing sheet, I mean tracking sheet. Then I will be seeing what datasets I have been assigned with. So let's say they have assigned me 10 datasets and they have given me 4 days. I'll make sure that I'll be completing 4 of these datasets in 10 days. I mean 10 of these datasets in 4 days. If I think I was not able to complete these data sets, I'll be reporting my manager, hey, I think I'm not sure now. After 2 days I'll be updating you, because there might be issues. If there are issues, then I might need some help with other programmers in creating the data sets. uh, I can create these 6 data sets, but I'm not sure about these 4 data sets, because those are huge data sets. I might need help, but I will let you know by the weekend or something like that. You'll email them. So then you will see your tracking sheet, and your first always you need to see the tracking sheet, because if they have assigned you a lot of work, and if you didn't see it till the end, if you reported last day that I was not able to complete the work by tomorrow, no one can share your work. So you have to be heads up for that. So after seeing the tracking sheet, then I'll keep my implementation guide open. I'll go through my specifications and I'll start my programming. Once my dataset is created, I'll say to QCR that my dataset has been completed, and there will be tracking files for updating the issues also. Sometimes it's hard. Let's say I'm working on 10 datasets. I have two or three issues in each dataset. How many issues will be there? 30 issues. How many emails will be there? 30 emails. Apart from those emails, we'll be getting emails others. So it will be like 100 emails for 10 data sets. So you don't know to track which has been updated. So you'll be creating an Excel file. Normally companies will have an Excel file, DM. What are the issues there for DM? Who has found the issue? What was the current status? If it is updated, updated by whom? So you need to update the tracking sheet. In DM, there is a date issue for subject number this. So sometimes you might be missing, your manager might be missing, QCR might be missing the issues in emails, because there are a lot of emails. We don't know which email we have replied. If you need to go through 100 emails, what emails we got reply for, Still it takes 20 minutes. If you go to your DM dataset directly for tracking file and see what issues are there, what issues has been updated, it's easy. So whenever you're answering to an as an interviewer, you need to say, as a programmer, first I will check all the specifications required, then I will see the work assigned, then I will start programming. If there are any issues, I will, if there is no tracking file, I will create a tracking file by myself to make sure I update the issues in the tracking file. And I will also link my email date there. So okay, this in tracking file you can't enter the subject number, or you can just enter the subject number, but in email you'll be pasting the part of data set, right? So you'll be attaching the date of that email in tracking file. So if you go to that date, you can see that email, right? That's easier. So if you say such things, managers will be impressed, like, oh, this guy really did a good job in his last company. Even if you are not good at some other parts, he will think, yes, he's good guy, we need him. So then you have to say, I have worked on these SDTM datasets, I have used my specifications, all these things. If I have any issues in specification or any issues in annotations, I have updated my, because your team lead might also do mistake. She might forget something, or she might be copying specification some other study. She might be not updating for each variable. She think this is apt for this study, but when you go to your protocol, you'll be knowing what this study is, how many number of days, or what is the doses given. So you need to say her, see, we were supposed to use this thing for this study, but this looks not familiar to this study. Then she will update her spec or annotated crf. You know what is an annotated crf, right? Yeah, I'll show you it then. So then we'll start programming. Then you also need to say, when I'm doing my programming, I'll include check programs to make sure that there are no dates missing, or I'll create some check programs to check if there are any data issues. If there are any data issues, I will report to my team lead, or if I have access to the CDM team, I will email CDM team, and there will be separate tracking file for CDM data. I mean raw data also, there will be separate tracking file. What data set has what issue? Is it high priority or normal priority? Because if our timeline is next week for locking the raw data sets, they need to update by this weekend, so that is high priority, right? So you need to update CDM team, and if CDM team is not available or not able to understand your issue, then you need to discuss with your manager or team lead and conduct group meeting with CDM team. Then we need to discuss. Sometimes if there are issues that takes more time to get solved, uh, our team will be conducting team meetings to discuss about those issues, and then we'll be resolving those issues. After SDTM datasets, same thing, I'll be going for my analysis datasets. I'll be looking through my specifications, protocol, and Atom implementation guide. Then I'll be starting to work on analysis datasets to create my ADSL variables. After creating ADSL dataset or analysis dataset, QCR will be validating. If it passed QC, that's done. So what else for SDTM and Atom? Yeah, for SDTM dataset, DM is basic dataset because it's subject level dataset where we get all the dates from. And from analysis datasets, it's ADSL dataset. And if they ask you, did you ever create trial design datasets? Yes. What are trial design datasets? Trial design datasets are trial arm, trial elements. There are in implementation guide. I'll say you what they are. And if they ask you, did you create tables and listings? Yes. What did you follow for creating tables and listings? I have taken my analysis data sets for creating my tables and listings, and I'll go through SAP. SAP is nothing but statistical analysis plan, which is created by statistician, team lead, and manager together. Most probably, statistician will be working on creating SAP. He'll be going through protocol to create SAP. So he will decide what tables he need, what are different statistics he need. So I will take the shelves from shelves from SAP, and I will see, let's say I'm creating DM table. I will make sure that they want DM table only for safety flag or for entire randomization population. Safety flag are patients who took only drug. What is randomization flag? Whoever participated in the study. So I will look at the flags first. So what do they need statistics on? Only on safety population or entire randomized population? So I'll make sure that I'll check the shell, what decimals they need in, and what are the titles they're expecting, what are the footnotes they're expecting. If you think there is more that need to be included in shell, you can always say statistician. Like let's say our study is male study. If you don't have statistics for male, if someone says why they don't have statistics for male, and statistician doesn't include footnote for DM table. Yeah. Yeah, నాకు అవసరం లేదు. Yeah. లేదు అంటే ఒకవేళ ఆయన వెళ్ళిపోయినా లోపలిది లాక్ చేసేసి లాగేసి. Okay. If you can find it, then hand it over to somebody, or else you can do it on Monday. What? So if they haven't included, statistician hasn't included footnote saying all subjects were male, then we need to say statistician. Why don't we include footnote? It makes more sense, right? So you can always say statistician, and if we miss something in the shell, you can always say to statistician to include those things in the shell. So after completing tables, we'll be submitting the study to FDA. We are not submitting, sir. The team will submit. Yeah, I mean, we'll also be working sometimes in submitting. If you are in pharma, you'll be working on FDA submissions. So that's the final thing to be submitted. Yeah, tables and listings. And you'll be preparing more documents in Word and Excel to make it clear to the FDA. Like you'll be writing, we use this data set or these things. You'll be writing some extra notes for FDA people. So we have to use Excel? What? No, I mean in Word or PDF files you'll be sending to FDA. So if someone asks you what are the documents submitted to FDA, we'll be submitting raw data sets, SDTM data sets, analysis data sets, tables and listings, SAP, protocol. I'm recording it anyway. Oh, yeah. SAP, protocol, CRF, annotated CRFs. If you have any data definition documents, all these things will be submitted. So, you will be submitting only hard lock data for FDA. What is annotated CRF? So what is shell? Shell is nothing but the for creating DM. What did we see? I sent you a DM shell, right? Yeah, I saw it. Template. It's template. Yeah, that is created by statistician. And we have to on the real time. We won't create. Statistician will be creating that, and we'll be seeing that how many decimal statistician is requiring and what is the order that he need. Age. Part of our job. Not this is only one part. We have to do more. Normally, we have to do the analysis, and then SDTM we have to implement. But those things also you have to do, like template we have to do also. No, statistician will be creating the template. You won't be creating. Yeah, but we have to bring in the result. We have to bring the result back. Yeah, exactly. We have to do as it is in the template. That is a model table. That's like plan. If there is a plan for building, who will be creating the plan? Architect. But contractors will be building it. So programmers are like people who build the building, and statistician is like an architect. So this is a normal CRF, right? There is nothing annotated here. But if you go to annotated, I think I have showed it. Definitely I have showed it. So with the data, annotated yeah. The CRF with where is this data? Yeah. That's the name. This is annotated CRF. So where this date is going, informed consent sign. Informed consent sign goes to data set called disposition, and date is DS, ST, DTC. And this is also going to RFIC DTC. So where this date is going into two data sets, one to DM, demographics. In demographics variable is RFIC DTC. So same date is shown in disposition as DS, ST, DTC. Site number is going as site ID, subject number is going as subject ID. You need to create annotated CRFs also. Yeah.
It is easy.
I have created this annotated CRF.
Sir, is it possible if you just give us a sample? We don't need any project or anything.
No, you can download CRF pages from online. Yeah, some companies put it online. Yeah. And nothing, it's easy. All you need to do is select this, Control C, and paste that box somewhere. I don't have Adobe Editor, I think. So just select this and paste these boxes to somewhere.
Total 40 pages.
No, I don't have Adobe Reader. You need editing reader for PDF. So you need to copy and paste, and either you can take one box and you can edit the matter inside, right? You can copy this box to somewhere else, and what is this? Type it here. DM is equal to demo. So where this information is going, data set called DM. What is variable in SDTM? Birth DTC. So annotated CRF is directly mapping to SDTM datasets. So where this gender male is going to variable called sex. Where this ethnicity is going to SDTM variable name is ethnic, not ethnicity. So where this is going to race. If there are multiple races, we'll indicate it as multiple. Because some patients, father might be an Asian, mother might be an American. So then race will be multiple. And you are not supposed to have two records in DM. You can't say patient number one Asian, patient number one American. You can't keep two records. So what you will be doing, you will be saying multiple, and in sub DM, supplementary domain, you will be including two observations with their name. Yeah, if there is multiple race. But in our study, we don't have it. But just we are including in annotated CRF to make sure if in future data. We'll be not working in current, will anytime in industry, you'll not be working on live data. You might be getting updates. You don't know what might come. So you have to think logically what might come, and you have to work. So this page is for medical history. So on. You have to annotate all the blank CRF. First, you will have an CRF like this. You are annotating. Just you are pasting the box here, and for your understanding, like what going where, right? Yeah, yeah. So if programmer is actually annotated CRFs will be priorly created to SGTM datasets. Yeah. So then person who is creating SDTM datasets, he will be knowing, okay, they are pulling this variable from here. Sometimes they will be creating after that also. You don't need anyways. By seeing this, you are a programmer, you should know it. Sometimes you will only be working on creating annotated CRF. Then how will you do? So you have to think everything. All this is programming part. Even you will be creating specifications yourself sometimes. You will be creating how to create this variable. RFSTDs, you have to write logic there. Then someone who is working on SDTM dataset, he will be using your logic. So as a programmer, you need to create specifications, you need to create annotated CRF, SDTM, analysis, TLFs.
Yes, sir, but we have to. What is TLF?
Tables, figures, listing. TFL or TLF.
Figures, all is plural. Tables, figures, listings.
Listings, yeah.
Sir, now I understand something that SDTM, if you want to work SDTM, we have to be sharp in mapping. The mapping is very emergency and important. If you know mapping, then
you have to relate it. I mean, if you are creating one variable, where is it coming from? Where they have collected on the CRF? What is the rule for this variable in implementation guide? So if you have raw data and implementation guide and CRF page, you should be able to create. You don't need spec or you don't need annotated CRF. In my previous company, they don't provide specifications for SDTMs. They only provide it for analysis because they don't want to spend time. Someone person is creating DM specification. He need to type in DM variable and rule for that variable, type of that variable. Again, he need to create Excel file. That's like for creating 10 or 15 specifications for all SDTM datasets. It might take 1 week or 10 days. Why do they want to waste time on? They want to waste money on programmer. Programmer himself can do it, and even QCR don't have specification. Then he also need to do the same thing.
So then it will be not same. Like
yeah, if it is not matching, why is it not matching? Who is not doing right? Who is not following the CRF and protocol correct? Someone might have been done mistake, right? That's why programmer and QCR never speak directly about the study. You are not supposed to go to QCR and say, hey, why don't you use this variable? You are not supposed to say. Then she'll be using same variable for creating the date. You might have an issue. If he has any small doubt when you are QCing, you need to talk to manager. Source is using this. He's getting mistake. Should I use the same thing? Yes, you have to ask your team lead.
You told that if we do mistake before submitting the manager, we should.
No, if there is small like label mistake or cosmetic changes, you won't say you missed decimal here. This is not upcase. This is not.
STTM, you have to exactly follow that, like the implementation guidelines.
What I'm saying is, like, if you think if there are basic things, right? Date should be always in IS-861 date format. You won't ask your man if you are QCR, hey, she didn't create date in IS-861 date format. Should he create it? Then manager will say, who trained you in SAS? Right? That's standard rules. For standard rules, you don't, when you are trying some hard time, like which variable you need to use or how to report certain things, then you should ask. For basic cosmetic things, you won't ask your manager. If you have some question in from CRF, like I have to use informed consent date for RFICDTC, or do you have any other dates? For such things, you can always ask. Because if you ask simple questions, you'll be having 20 questions for your manager, and there will be 10 programmers for your manager, and this guy is not fit and he's keeping me a lot of headache. They will hire different programmer. Yeah, if you are real-time experience, you'll be knowing all the basic things, right? They expect you those things. So that's the difference between. So you should know all this terminology by now then. What is spec, what is CRF, what is annotated CRF, what is protocol, what is SAP, what are shells, what are tracking files, what is SDTMIG, what is ADAMIG, what are TLFs, tracking files. I mean, to submit the issues or to check your work status. There are a lot of Excel files in companies.
So SDTMIG and SDTM is the same thing, or?
No, there is separate IG for Adam, right?
Oh.
SDTM is 3.2 and Adam is 2.1 currently.
Oh.
There are separate implementations guide for SDTM and Adam. So if you go to interview, you should start with what is the therapeutic areas you worked on, what are the phases of studies you worked on, what was your recent company, what did you do, so what did you follow to do that, so what did you do if you had issues, whom did you report. So this is like chain, right? So you have to come from top to bottom, not like I have worked in pharma company, I have worked in clinical SAS, not like that. If you start like that, then they will think, yes, he's a professional guy, he worked, his plan is good, and what did he do in real time scenario, what documents did he follow. They will analyze you when you're talking. They expect more than they won't ask you what does index do, what does this do, how do you compress the space. They think that you know all those. When they will know that you know all those, when you are able to explain all these things, manager and team lead won't be asking such questions, but programmers will be asking you the technical questions. First they will see how is his knowledge with study, how is his knowledge with handling the study. Then they will go, okay, if he's strong at that part, is he strong in technical? Then only they will hire you. Yeah, both are important. Yeah, if you are saying technical and if you don't know how to check the data, what's the use? You need to know the standard rules, right?
Yeah, but for working for your comfort level, it's very important to know the technical
part.
Because
No, that's why I'm saying when you are training, you should be strong at technical. The other part comes only when you go to industry, even if I say a lot of things. You should be in a position able to take Skype or face to face. That's even my first job, I went 2.5 hours face to face. First job, I cleared it. So you should practice so much.
So before
That's
that,
why sometimes I am rude. That's what I want you guys. I'm not saying if you get chance that good phonic interview, but there are 10 people, 5 people are ready to face, and you are not ready. They will get the jobs. They will take your jobs, right? You'll scold me now, but I scold my trainer when I'm getting trained. But I like him now so much because otherwise I was not able to clear that interview.
so for
Right?
2.5 hours, what will they ask?
Yeah, 2.5 hours you won't be with one person. You'll be with programmer sometime, manager sometime. If three are at same spot, you are in risk. But most of the times, they don't sit 2.5 hours all three together. They'll be calling separately.
Your real time
Yeah,
people.
so you have to
Yeah.
work more on the data which you have. You have lot of data to work on. You had data in your hands. Yeah, once you are strong in technical, you'll get confidence by yourself, right?
So